Ruben Saltzman here. When it comes to foundation cracks, size does not matter. Do you believe that? I don't, but I just read that line in a trade journal for home inspectors, and I'm kind of whipped up about it. So yeah, I kid you not, this article said when it comes to foundation cracks, size does not matter. So what does this mean? It means that all foundation cracks are the same? Small, big, whatever? Our recommendation should be the same? I was kind of curious, where is this article going? And as I continued on in the article, that's basically what it said. It said, if you're a home inspector and you find a crack in the foundation, really what you need to do is refer that on to a structural engineer. It is not your place to say anything about a crack. You're not qualified. And I'm sorry, but that just doesn't ring true for me. And frankly, it bugs me that we have insurance companies saying this. Now, I get it. They're trying to protect us by protecting themselves, by protecting us. I get that. But this doesn't do anything for the client, the person who has hired a home inspector, to give them information about the house. So let's work through an example. Here's a nice big foundation crack in a home that we were recently hired to inspect. And we told the owner that we believe this wall needs to be stabilized. These cracks are a problem. They're huge. And we went outside and there's poor grading at the outside, a lot of pressure, a lot of hydrostatic pressure that would be exerted upon this wall from all that water that doesn't get managed properly. And we told the owner as much. We said, this is likely the result of poor water management at the outside. Have everything fixed at the outside and have your foundation wall stabilized. That was our recommendation. And I'll tell you what, I have no problem making recommendations like that. In fact, the Ashi standard of practice actually tells me that that's what we are there to do. Let's take a look. The Ashi standard of practice says the inspector shall provide the client with a written report, blah, 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 and we need to address those systems and components inspected that, in the professional judgment of the inspector, are not functioning properly or significantly deficient. Let's just go with significantly deficient. That's really what these big foundation cracks come down to. In my professional judgment, these huge cracks are significantly deficient. When I see little cracks, like here, let's see an example of a small crack. This is at my own home. I have a stepped foundation. It's poured concrete. And anytime you have these steps, you're probably going to have little hairline cracks at every one of them. It's really common to see this. It's unusual to not see it. So are these a problem? Well, I don't know. I've seen them at about a bazillion homes. In my professional judgment, this is not significantly deficient. So I'm done. I don't say anything more about it. Now, of course, at some point, my client's going to be looking at these cracks and they're going to forget that we discussed the cracks during the inspection. So I would definitely take pictures of them during my inspection, and I'd put those pictures in my inspection report, and I would proactively address the questions that my clients would surely have. And I'd say there were some small cracks in the foundation walls, and I'm not concerned about it. I would use a little bit stuffier language in my report, but that would be the long and short of it. So where am I going with this? I guess my whole point is that I think there's a lot of home inspectors out there who blindly follow the advice of insurance providers, and they recommend further evaluation for everything that doesn't look perfect in a report. If you're a home inspector, I would encourage you to change your practice. If you seriously look at cracks and you have no idea what they mean, get more education. If you look at a crack and you know in your professional judgment this is not a serious issue, tell your client as much. You're not doing them any good by recommending further inspections. It's a dumb recommendation to make. It doesn't serve anybody. And I know I've heard home inspectors say, well, I'm doing this because I need to cover my ass. Sorry, had to switch gears a little there. I hate that saying, and I hate that entire mentality. If a home inspector wants to cover their own ass, their phrase should be CYCA, cover your client's ass. That's what it's all about. If you take good care of your client, you are taking good care of yourself. Think about them first. That's how you're going to protect yourself. So that's my advice to home inspectors. Sorry to sound preachy, but I feel strongly about this. And then when it comes to a client, if you're going to be hiring a home inspector, my advice would be look at your prospective home inspector's inspection report. Take a look at a sample, see if they make a dozen recommendations for further inspection. If that's what they're going to do, well, just know that that's how they think and that's what you're getting. That's all I have to say on that. So sorry for this rant. If anybody has any other thoughts on the whole matter, please chime in. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That's all. Appreciate it.